I naturally know what you're thinking. You're thinking I ripped this off from Casey Neistat. Actually, I'm stealing it back from Casey Neistat. So yeah, it was my birthday recently. Got a lot of awesome comments on Facebook, and I appreciate everyone that that wished me a happy birthday the other day. First off, to my lovely bride, Sherry, who shared that with the world. That's something I don't normally publish on Facebook, but all right, at the end of the day, I'll admit it. A little bit of attention is a nice thing, and it does seem to go a long way. So I've decided to not block her. Giving a shout out to a few folks. Colleen, happy birthday, John. So glad to have met you. Colleen, the pleasure is all mine. You and Kevin and your two boys are awesome folks. You're the only New Yorkers I admit to knowing. My good friend Kent, who is out in Virginia, he says, happy birthday, John. Let's try to connect this August. Kent, absolutely. Come on up here. And by here, what I mean is I'm actually in Vancouver, Canada. I do all of my filming in Vancouver because of the tax incentives. They're just too great to pass up. And JC says, happy birthday, John. Hope you have a wonderful day enjoying all this lovely rain. Well, okay, it's not raining right now, but it was on my birthday. Now, of course, Mr. Miyagi's Mark and JC's cat, not really a real person, but actually Mr. Miyagi is also a real person. Mr. Miyagi was Daniel-san's sensei teaching Daniel-san karate and kung fu. Okay, so the Dutch angle. This is from some egghead book about movie making, and it's a filmmaking term. In photography, we're not quite as sophisticated. When we refer to the Dutch angle of tilting the camera in still photography, we call it tilting the camera. The book says, you will most likely strive to keep your horizon line stable and level. This is an absolute rule in still photography, obviously. This is the most important part here. When horizontal and vertical lines go askew, it causes a sense of uneasiness and a slight disorientation in your audience. Now, this isn't something that they're going to consciously say to themselves, oh, a little bit of vertigo. No, not quite like that. But it is on a deeper psychological subconscious level. You see, if you do this unintentionally, you get people confused. But when it's done intentionally, you get what's called the Dutch angle. So in movie making, this is often done when you want to create that little extra tension. Again, the Kung Fu movies. Look at the old Batman television series, used all the time. Maybe you're on a boat in a storm. The Dutch angle works perfectly here. It's not really that big of a deal, but there are a lot more people here than I thought there'd be. Check out this parking lot. Obviously, we're here at the beach. Ugly rodents. The rodents. The rats with wings don't feed the seagulls. So sitting here on the beach is the water filtration plant. This is the building where they take in the water from Lake Michigan, filter it, they put a little chlorine and fluoride in it. That's what we drink. Well, aside from the fortified barbed wire fence, the architecture on the building got that Depression era classic Civic Deco, Art Deco feel to it. So if you're gonna put something on a beautiful beach, it may as well be Art Deco. So that's cool. But the occasion today is an open house at the water filtration plant. Let's take a peek inside. So we do keep moving along inch by inch. We are inside. It smells like the YMCA pool. It's going a little too much cologne in here too. So yes, what we're looking at is a lifesaver ring. Looks like part of an elaborate, inescapable scheme. Something Dr. Evil would put up, his bane, in case 007 needs a little help.
They did ask that we keep cameras to a minimum for security reasons.
This here is the oldest part of the water filtration plant. It's dating back to the late 1800s, originally just used for fire hydrants, not actually drinking.
City of Muskegon, we're collecting about 40 samples a month. We go out a couple times a week, and we've got sample sites distributed throughout the
That was cool. It was educational. Never been in anything like that before, so if nothing else, it's something new to do. A little trivia here for you. It's not really supposed to be called the Dutch angle. It was originally called the German angle. Now think about it. If Phil Hartman were to ask you, hey, do you speak German? He would say, Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Yes, it used to be called the Deutsch angle, not the Dutch angle. All of those folks in the Netherlands, you're off the hook. The rule of the Dutch angle in both filmmaking and in still photography, don't use it. Okay, that's the rule. We know rules are to be broken. When you break the rule, be very, very deliberate. So here's the big rule that you do not break in still photography. When there is a horizon that is a prominent part of the still photograph, like the horizon behind me, maybe you're taking a picture of some guy in a yellow coat sitting at a picnic table, or maybe you're intentionally taking a picture of the horizon like in a sunset photo, that horizon must be level. It must be perfectly level. If you don't get it right in camera, fix it in post. If it's not fixable, you don't get it level, don't show the picture. Don't post it on Facebook. Don't put it on as part of your online portfolio. Don't do it. Don't ever break that rule. There's no reason to ever break that rule. Are we clear on this? Don't break the rule. So yes, it's simple. When you use the Dutch angle in still photography, use it sparingly. But when you might want to use it, obviously you'll want to add a little bit of drama to the scene. Also, if you're in the middle of a portrait session, perhaps your subjects have a radical height difference. When it's two subjects, that is. Perfect time to use the Dutch angle. And sometimes it's just a matter of filling the frame. When tilting the camera fills the frame better. And then perhaps the most important, the best way to use it is when there's a line that's either going straight up and down or straight across. Sometimes leading lines that run at an angle are just so much more appealing. The Dutch angle, tilt the camera, you got that line that's running straight up and down, running at an angle, that's perfect. That's how that's done. I'm John. Keep pulling that trigger. There's no reason to ever break that rule. Are we clear on this? Don't break the rule. I hear a foghorn. Is it foggy out? Maybe you can't see the horizon, so it doesn't matter today.